so I've tried shooting this video like for real 7 times now, and I just want to say that I'm a little mad about it. A little hurt too. Anyways, we're gonna give this another go. My jaw hurts. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone for I don't know how long exactly, but a while. I do apologize. I have been really busy with school. There are a few things I've been working on that are in the process of happening, and that has been taking up a lot of my time. I also moved. If you couldn't tell, I'm in a new place, and so I moved. That was a lot. Spring break happened. I know I didn't vlog. Oh, and I love doing vlogs, but I'm back. Slow it down, set the mood. I want to talk about respect real quick. We all know people have different opinions. Your opinions aren't going to be the same as my opinions, and I am okay with that. So basically, mutual respect. This is a very safe environment. I could talk about respect all day. I like my hair, look at these little ponytails. Today's topic is going to be, drumroll, open relationships. If you don't really know what an open relationship is, haven't been in one, etc., then that's okay, because this video is really going to go over kind of the basic typical open relationship versus the monogamous typical traditional relationship. Open relationships, right? So they're new, they're scary, you just don't even know what's happening because you're like, open relationship, I've never been in one, but I've heard about one before and it's all about sex. I mean, if you casually bring up open relationship, people are like, oh, they're just fucking a whole bunch of different people. Your kind of typical open relationship is that, but it can mean many different things. It really just depends on the two kind of core people in the relationship. So I went on the Huffington Post and I searched up open relationships and I printed out 3 articles, and they're all kind of neutral in the respect of open relationships. I'm trying not to be biased. Probably going to be a little biased, like come on. So the first article I'm going to talk about is one by Noah Michelson. It's called 5 Things You Should Consider Before Starting an Open Relationship. First thing it mentions is jealousy. It is something that isn't so big of a deal. If you think about it, it is something that's totally natural. It's something that we all feel, and it's totally fine because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in life, okay? You're gonna get jealous. Even if you're the person that's like, I don't get jealous a lot. I'm not a jealous person. Guess what? You're gonna get jealous and you're gonna have to deal with it. How you should deal with it is you should be open and honest. You should talk to your partner. You should be like, hey, I'm feeling this way. Communication, that's all I'm trying to tell you guys. In a polygamous relationship or an open relationship, jealousy is going to occur because you are basically telling them, yes, go out on a date with someone else. Yes, you could sleep with this person. So guess what? You're gonna feel jealous, and that's okay, but you just have to realize that you guys have a mutual respect and understanding and limitations, and it is all Gucci. Gucci is good. Also, here's a fact that is mentioned in the article, that research shows that if you're in a monogamous relationship and a partner cheats, they are more likely to contract an STD or get involved in a pregnancy, whether it be the female or male. But that's because in a monogamous relationship, when someone cheats, they don't plan it ahead of time. Usually it's very spontaneous, but in open relationships or when there are multiple partners, it is more likely for them to be prepared to get checked regularly for STDs, make sure they have a condom because it's planned ahead of time or they know it's okay. And you just have to have honesty. In all realness, you have to have honesty. And that brings up limitations. You have to talk about what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. And there may be a gray area, and that's okay. You don't have to right away name like yay or nay on things. It's okay to have an area where you're not sure about, because it gives you flexibility to try new things and kind of just pull back on things or loosen the reins. Talk to your partner and kind of feel it out, make a compromise. While you're making limitations, you have to know that what you set right now may not always be true in the future. So let's say you're like, oh yeah, I'm fine with you spending the night at other people's houses, but as the relationship goes on, you're kind of like, ooh, you know, that actually kind of bothers me. You have to go to your partner and be like, hey, I know I said I was okay with this, but it's kind of been hurting my feelings, or like it's kind of making me feel weird. Could we not do that? But you have to be honest, you have to be open, you have to. Like, in any relationship, you have to be open and honest, and you have to be able to communicate, because without communication, without honesty, it starts lies, it starts like holding feelings, and then that just explodes, and then there's fights and yelling, and just communicate with your partner. God, honestly. Another article I found on the Huffington Post is called Why I Choose an Open Relationship, and it is by Melissa Clark. She brings up a really good point about sex, about how people hold sex on such a high pedestal and how it is all and mighty, and that it is, so sacred, and it is something very important, when honestly sex can just be sex. I mean, it can be very important, it can be this almighty thing, but it also can just be sex. It really just depends on the person and how they feel about it. When it comes to open relationships, sex can just be sex. While I can be totally, into this one person, I could still just be wanting to have sex with other people, and that is totally fine, because sex doesn't have to mean, oh, we're in love. I could be just wanting to have sex with someone else and still be committed to you. Another big thing this article talks about, and it like really connects with me, because I've always been like preaching this like to myself. I like to have standards. I mean, duh, everyone should have standards for who they want in their life. And I've always felt like, Madyson, your standards are way too high. Like, no one is going to reach them. You're gonna die alone. And although being alone is not bad, I was just like, wow, maybe I shouldn't have such high standards. Maybe I should kind of bring them down. I don't think there's ever going to be one person that is going to fulfill everything I want. So, does that mean I just have to settle? No, it shouldn't mean I have to settle for someone. It means I should be able to find different things in different people. Everything is being fulfilled in my life, but it just means I'm seeing more than one person. That's okay. If people knew that, they would be more open to it. They settle for being comfortable, they settle for being content. But in real life, like, you should be fulfilling all those standards you have, and you shouldn't have to settle, because there is no law saying you have to find it in one person. And I think society has really pushed that on us, saying, oh, well, you have to find that one person that just is your world. It's okay to find everything you want in multiple people. I think once people start realizing that, open relationships and poly relationships will kind of start mixing their way into society. That will be the day. A really good example that she wrote, and I was like, hell yeah. She wrote, sometimes I need a good philosophical conversation. And that's not his cup of tea. So I have friends who engage in these types of conversations with me instead. So what she's saying is, just because his cup of tea is not her cup of tea doesn't mean they're not going to work out. It just means she goes to different people for her interests. So basically, if I have a boyfriend and I didn't like working on cars, but he liked working on cars, what am I supposed to be like? Well, you're not allowed to work on cars with anyone but me, so I'm just gonna sit there and complain while you work on cars, and you're gonna like it. He's gonna have a group of friends, right, that he works on cars with, because they all enjoy it. So let's say my partner likes vanilla sex, and let's say I'm more adventurous, I want to try different things. Well, what am I supposed to do? Not ever try these things because I'm in a relationship with him? No. What you can do is, just be like, hey, I want to try different things, and I don't want to make you uncomfortable and you not like it, so I'm going to go find and try these different things, and we can still have this relationship where my needs are being met and your needs are being met, and we're all still happy. It's just unfair to sit there and be like, well, you have to sacrifice this because I don't like it. It's just very unfair. I think when the relationship gets to that point where you are no longer doing the things you love because of your partner, then I feel like it's not a relationship. And that's like one of my big things with traditional relationships, is them holding you back. And I feel like you need to have the freedom to live your life and try new things and have them by your side, not running your life. Another thing I want to address with relationships is just that, people get really offended when you're like, oh, well, that girl's cute. And they're like, what? Excuse me, I'm right here. It's like, well, yeah. Did you think you're the only cute person in the world? Excuse me? It's unrealistic. Like what, you just because we're together you think you are now the most beautiful person in the world? I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but Angelina Jolie trumps everyone in my life. I could be dating Harry Styles and I'd be like, sorry boo, but Angelina Jolie is like the love of my life. Just because I'm in a relationship with you does not mean you're the only person I see in the world. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, hey, she's cute, hey, he's cute, yeah, they're cute, they're cute. Like, no, I'm not gonna say that to you, but you need to realize, like, that needs to be something that's just known, that you are not the cutest person in the universe. A fact she has in her article is that anywhere between 40 to 74% of traditional monogamous relationships are touched with infidelity. That is a huge problem because, I mean, that shouldn't be happening, especially if you make a promise to a person that it is just you two. Like, that is sacred. If I were to do that, I wouldn't break it. Another article I found on the Huffington Post is called Open Relationships, What the Rules Need to Be. And this is by Michael Radkowski, I think that's how you pronounce it, something like that. One of the things he points out is the don't ask, don't tell. It's kind of a good thing to incorporate in an open relationship. Like, you don't want your partner coming home going, guess what I just did, honey? I'm not gonna be like, who'd you sleep with today, honey? It's kind of a thing that is just gonna be in the background. We are aware of it, we are aware of the rules. If it needs to be discussed, it will be, but other than that, it's like a don't ask, don't tell. A thing that he brings up is the genuineness of the relationship because of the, you know what your partner's doing, you guys don't really discuss it, that he feels that you're not going to get the same genuineness you would out of a real relationship, and that might disrupt your intimacy, but you're not going to get an open relationship with someone you're not attracted to, someone that you're not connected to. So if you find someone that you're just content with and have an open relationship, then yeah, maybe you won't have the same genuineness or intimacy as a stronger relationship. But if you have someone that you're already really attracted to and really happy with, but you just want the freedom, or you want more, you want to explore with, other things, then you could totally still have the intimacy and genuineness as a standard couple. Just depends on communication and your guys' vibes, like together, how you guys interact with each other and mix, and the chemistry. Of course, it's not always going to work, and I think people have to realize that with open relationships. Like, just because it gives you more freedom doesn't mean that it's going to be a solid relationship. They're definitely still going to have their bumps. A thing that he brings up that I also really agree with, surprisingly, is you have to agree on the limitations of who you can have sex with. Not like how many times, not like protected or where or stuff like that, but who. You have to put a limit on that. You just gotta talk about it. Honestly, the big factor of open relationships is communication. Like, I don't know how many times I've said talk about it, compromise, communication, honesty. Like, all those four are like golden in this relationship. I hope that talking about this, you've either kind of thought, wow, this makes sense, or you kind of thought, oh, well, I'm still not that into open relationships, I'm not feeling it. But I just hope you take something away from kind of this discussion. It's not really discussion because you guys can't talk back at me. Like I said before, I realize that this is not everyone's cup of tea, and I totally respect that. Like, people that I've been in relationships for 25 years, I'm like, oh my god, power to you, because when I think about commitment that long, I get scared. How do you feel about open relationships? Have you been in an open relationship? I'm really interested in everyone's thoughts on open relationships. Please give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new, if you thought this was cool. Give a thumbs up if you like my new hairstyle. I'll take whatever I can get. Thanks for watching, and I will be back ASAP. I swear I won't disappear for another 6 months. You're welcome.